What's going on, guys? Welcome on to another video. Back at Dig Love It today, and today we are taking out the BMW R 1250 RT in this stunning blue. Tell me what you think about this blue before we get going. This is the sport blue. Hey, that's enough looking. Let's get on it. Let's go and enjoy the open road. So I've only just jumped on this, and I can tell you it is comfortable. We will test it out though fully today. But look at the size of this thing. Got a massive screen. We've got the speakers installed on this model. 10.25 inch screen. This enables you to have the full maps as well. As you can see there, left hand side of the screen is my maps, and if I wanted I can have the speakers telling me the directions. The screen is fully electronic. On the left hand side of your switch gear there is a button. Hold it down at the top and it will raise the screen up, hold it at the bottom and it'll bring it down. The problem with this screen that I'm seeing straight away is I'm 6'1", and then with the screen in its highest position, the top of the screen is right in line with my eye level. So that means I'm kind of getting like double vision on the road. Pretty off-putting. So that's going to mean I'd have to lower it down out of its highest position, which is in turn going to give some form of wind buffeting, I predict. We'll see in a minute, because I'm hungry. It's lunchtime. Gonna go to Morrison's, grab some lunch, and then we'll get back on the road. I'll see you after Morrison's. There we go. Got my lunch, good to go in the side bags. Happy days. Look at the size of this seat. My derriere appreciates it. I'm 6'1". This seat height is between 805 and 825. There are some internal settings you can change between those two, and I'm flat footed both sides, good to go. You can get a taller seat taking you from 830 to 850, or if you're on the shorter side and you want to go shorter, the lower seat is 760 to 780 mil. This bike is big and it is heavy, coming in at 279 kilos, but it is fairly low. Like it does actually handle a lot nicer than you'd think 279 kilos would. Adding into that 279 kilos is this massive tank between your legs. 25 litres in this bad boy. You ain't gonna need to fill up in a while, that's for sure. Slow speed handling is actually pretty good. Like I said, you can't tell the weight of it. BMW have done a really good job at hiding the weight, keeping it nice and low, so that centre of gravity is lowest as possible. This has got the exact same engine that I've got in my GSA, so it's the 1254cc twin cylinder boxer engine, producing 148 Newton meter torque and 136 brake horsepower. Let's see what this screen's like on the motorway. We are restricted to 50. Like I said, electric windscreen, so you can just tap it and just adjust as you're going. It's a really comfortable riding position. I am very upright with my top half, but the handlebars are in a nice relaxed position and they're not too far forward. I'm not straining for them. And then the tank is big, but it is sculpted around your legs, so your legs fit in nicely. Plenty of wind protection because the fairing is humongous, and then the pegs are kind of nicely just behind my knees, so there's no extra strain on my knees. I mean, let's face it, this is an out and out touring bike. You want the most amount of comfort as possible, and yeah, it's very comfortable. Let's look at some of the electronics then, because this is a perfect time for it. Not only does this have cruise control, but it's also got adaptive cruise control. So I've set it to 45 miles an hour. It's registered at the car in front and it will keep to this distance. If I try and speed up, it won't do it because that car is there. If that car then speeds up, the bike will then speed up, or if the car pulls out into a different lane, I will then speed up to whatever I've set it to. if this lorry was to cut in front of us, it would register that there's a vehicle too close to me, and it would slow the bike down until I was a correct distance away, and then it would maintain that 48 miles an hour behind the lorry. All very clever. I first tried it in a car and I loved it, and I just wish my VW had it. On this model there are 4 rider modes. You've got Eco, Rain, Road and Dynamic. I believe you can pay to unlock some of the optional extras like Dynamic Pro. I'm currently in Road. I mean, this thing just picks up beautifully. You can definitely feel all of that torque coming through. Really low down in the rev range, you just start twisting that throttle and it just goes, picks up. When I look at stats of bikes, I'm never really worried about the brake horsepower. To me, it's the torque. That's where you're going to have the fun, and that's where you know it's just going to be grunting, it's just going to pull you through nicely. So I'm going to lower the windscreen all the way down. I'm going to 70 miles an hour, and then you'll hopefully hear the wind buffeting, and I'll raise it all the way up and we'll see the difference. So that's now 70 miles an hour all the way down, and the wind is hitting kind of my chin level. Yeah, like I said, vision wise it's not ideal, but actually if you're on the motorway and you're not needing to see too much because you're not in the twisties, raise it up. Look how much quieter that is. I'm sure you can hear it on the video as well. Two of the most important questions when it comes to buying a motorcycle: how much does it cost and what colours does it come in? Well, the BMW R 1250 RT comes in at £17,350, and then if you want the all bells and whistles to the R 1250 RT LE, that's going to set you back £20,705. Don't ask me what the £5 for. And then the other question was what colours. Obviously this is the Sport, so this is the blue model, and then you're going to have black, which will probably be the triple black, brown, and then your BMW white. Saw those boys earlier. Clearly doing some high speed tactical pursuit training. Don't mind me if I tag along. We've now pulled over, so let's have a look around this RT. This is the LE variant, so this does have all the extra goodies that you might want. As you can see, we've got LEDs all around on this. Lovely daytime running lights. This little square patch here, that is the adaptive cruise control, the radar sensor. Helping this bike stop is the Brembo calipers on it. It's got twin 320mm disc as well. So far I've not had any issues with the braking, even though this is a heavy girl along with myself on it. Really good sized luggage. I think it's 70 litre capacity between the two. We've got your grab handles, you've got your top box rack ready, good to go. And then moving around to the left hand side of the bike, under the rider's seat, just between the rider and the passenger seat, there is the heated seat button, so for both rider and passenger, always nice to see. And then up on the left hand side of the fairing is the quick action buttons, or the function buttons. You can go into these settings and you can decide what button you want to do with what. So whether you want it to do with the sat nav or the rider modes or whatever you want, you can have a quick action button there. Shaft driven, so no chain maintenance. Centre stand and side stand as standard. On the right hand side we've also got a DIN charger, so you can put in another 12-volt socket if you wish. To the left and right hand side of the centre console, we have got these little cubby holes. The one on the right hand side has got a USB plug as well, so you can charge your phone. The right hand one is also a wireless charger as well. Let's finish off this walk around with a sound test. BMW R 1250 RT LE 2023. I think you'd agree, for a stock bike, actually sounds pretty good. It does have a nice chrome exhaust under there. Thank you to the LE package. Anyway, my lunch break's over, so let's get back on the road. Probably can't really tell on the camera, but I am on quite a steep hill. And as you can see there, top left hand corner is a H. That's hill hold control. So my foot is now off the brake, hand off the brake, and the bike does it for me. And there we go. That hill hold control is available on both the RT and the LE model. One thing to note with the rider modes, the standard RT is only going to get rain and road. The 4 rider modes I've described earlier in the video, they are the LE option. A few more features you are going to get with the LE option. You're going to have your keyless ignition, so make sure your keys are in your pocket. And then you've got the emergency brake as well, so if I was to slam on the brakes, the rear brake light would pulse until I've come to a stop, or I've stopped applying that aggressive braking. These type of roads, back roads, B roads, this bike really just soaks it up. Yeah, you do need to remember you are on a heavier bike. But as long as you're just slow and smooth and steady with the braking and the throttle, you can have some serious fun on these type of roads. You don't need to be on your sports bikes or your naked bikes. Quick shifter up and down. Same on my GSA. What I tend to find is if you're nicely progressively accelerating and you go to shift, it goes very smoothly. But if you're absolutely full throttle and you do shift, you do notice a bit of a lag. See it? And it's just something to be mindful of. Like I said, the smoother you are with this bike, the better everything is. But the brakes are really strong. You do feel that back getting a bit lively if you are aggressive on that front brake. I've no doubt this bike would handle beautifully, fully laden, all the luggage for a European trip, with your partner on the back. Super smooth, it's comfortable. You do need to remind yourself the size of a small bus on this though. I always find it strange having the mirrors kind of not on the handlebars. Any bike that has them kind of further forward, it just takes a little bit of getting used to. But these are really good. My shoulders aren't in the way, which you do find on most bikes. And looking just above the mirrors as well, we've got like extra little fairing to kind of push the wind away from you, so not only is your head protected from this massive windscreen, but those extra bits there are just going to push it away from your shoulders. You could easily ride this bike all day long. I've ridden the K1600 and I have done a full review. The video for that will be in the description box below. If you put these two side by side, they look very similar. Both massive, comfortable, big screens, saddlebags, you name it. The 1600 has got 6 cylinders. It's big and it's kind of almost too smooth. It's almost like a moped or a scooter, twist and go. Whereas this, with that 1250 engine, it's got some character. It does have some vibes. Kind of finding that across the 1250 line. If I was to pick between the 1600 and this, I would go this personally. I like an engine with a bit of character. So you know what? I'll put up with the vibes, because I think this thing is just a bit more fun. Let me know in the comments box below, do you agree? Do you think this is better than the 1600? I've no doubt there's someone out there that says I'm wrong. Ah, Mr. Peacock, you stay there please, stay there, thank you. There you go, twist on in 3rd gear. There you go, 60 miles an hour. The electronic suspension on this RT is absolutely soaked up all the bumps on this back Welsh road. If you want, you can change the TFT screen around. So now I've got the maps on the right hand side, so it's smaller, and then I've got all my other information on the left hand side, i.e. speed, rev counter, gear, all that stuff. So it's down to you how you want it, whether you want the maps nice and big on the left or whether you're happy with it a little bit smaller on the right hand side. I think personally I prefer it this way, so now I can see all my information along with the maps, but each to their own. If I haven't said it already, the fueling on this is absolutely spot on. There's no jerkiness, there's no choppiness to the throttle. It's just really nice, smooth and progressive. It's not going to catch you out, that's for sure. If you want to throw your leg over this BMW or any of their demo bikes, make sure you head on over to Dick Lovett in Bristol. Thank you very much for lending me this demo bike. If you have enjoyed this video, please make sure you like it. More importantly, subscribe to the channel, it helps us out over at DSR. And until the next one, ride safe.